Hi everyone, how are you doing? I want to say a few things today about the importance of community and how that can help you keep the faith on your clean tech journey. So I've just finished our monthly community event, which is just this informal gathering for life-size clients and partners and friends where we come together and talk about key topics facing clean tech leaders. And today we talked about long-term innovation, which I think is a really important subject, particularly the long-term part of that phrase, because the fact is that if you are building something that has never been built before, if you are challenging the status quo, if you are being audacious enough to do something that's never been done before, it just takes a long time. And I don't think we talk about that enough or recognize that enough. And it can be frustrating and it can be challenging, and I think it can be demoralizing at times when it feels like you're not getting closer to the finish line, or maybe you are getting closer, you know you're getting closer, but it also feels like the finish line keeps moving further into the distance. So today we talked about some of the ways that you can navigate that, and one of the things that I really loved we talked about was a combination of science and stubbornness. So on the one hand, of course, you have to be able to back up everything that you're doing. You have to be able to prove it. You know, it has to be viable commercially and technically, and you have to have all the right metrics to prove that. And on a personal level, you have to have a certain amount of stubbornness. You have to have a certain amount of refusal to back down and audaciousness in your vision and your belief. And we also talked about the fact that you may often be the first, and again, exactly what that feels like. You know, that we're not all going to get a sort of Elon Musk that, like with electrification, brings a lot of attention to the sector, and also that's not always as helpful as you might think. You know, sometimes you may just be the first company or the first person to pioneer an idea, and you know that can feel lonely. And it's so important to have the right people with you, and that's kind of, for me, that was the big takeaway that we talked about, was make sure that you have the right people standing next to you on that journey, the people who are going to pick you up when you're down, the people who are going to celebrate each and every milestone along the way with you. And of course that's about having the right team. It's about choosing the right investors, and investors who are going to be patient with the long term. But I think it's also about community, and that's not something I think we talk about that much. And I think it's also something that there's a danger that we lose sight of in pandemic times. It's much harder to create a sense of community. You know, you don't have so many of these kind of informal interactions where you can just kind of, you know, sneak to the side at a conference and have a glass of wine and just get something off your chest. And I guess that's what I'm trying to recreate with these community events that we host, because it's really important when you know, when we come together and someone shares an experience and you see somebody else having the reaction of like, yes, I've been through that as well, and yes, I've been there, I know what that feels like. And even though our technologies are completely different, we recognize each other's journey, and you know, you just feel that bit lighter when you have that recognition and that shared experience. So, you know, just make sure that you do have community around you. And as a leader, you know, it can't always be your team. It's not always the right dynamic. Sometimes you just need people who aren't reliant on you in any way, but who know what you're going through. So yeah, so make sure you have community around you. And you know, if you want to be part of our community, we would love to have you. Please reach out to me or introduce yourself in the comments, whatever works for you. We all need to be there for each other, and as I've said before, I am in clean tech for the people, so I would love to get to know you.